But that's for you,
Yeah.
Robert. But behind you is a wife, his children,
Yes.
his family.
Yes.
Who possibly, I mean, they may not share with you that feeling. I mean,
Yes.
as a young boy, if my father is CEO of a company, I want to drop it around, and my
Yes.
father is CEO.
Yes.
The prospect of you leaving, how did your family take the transition?
It was very difficult, especially for not, I don't know whether the word is difficult. It was, the news was tough, especially for my children. Now, I tell my children in December. Remember, I announced in January, but by December, I knew I was leaving. You know, that decision had already been made. So I had to tell my children then. So that's the day I made a very, very important discovery. That because children are our children, we never pay attention to their own emotions and their own dreams and fears. We think that we're doing all the thinking for them, and what we feel is what they should feel. So I realized that for my children, the first fear that came into their minds was, what happens to school now? Are we going to leave school? Because they've been in school with their fellows and colleagues who have left because their parents have lost jobs and they leave school. So now they begin to think, so we're going to suffer the same fate. And that's the first question they asked me. Said, so what happens to our school now? Of course, I told them what the plans were, and I reassured them that they would still go to school regardless, and that do whatever it takes to keep them in school, and that their education for me was priority number one.
Paramount.
Yeah, I mean, even all of this farming business, if it means abandoning it so they can remain in school, I was willing to do that. The moment they understood that and were reassured that they could go back to school, their fears, I could see, immediately went down. One of them actually cried, thinking this must be the end of the world. I told them, no. I said, first of all, school is guaranteed. 2, the house you live in here in Mutungo is guaranteed, so you will continue to have your home. There will be a reduction in some of the nice things we have.
It's back to one ban.
Yeah, one ban. You may not see eggs very often. You can't pay Simon. And with that, once that happened, my wife, it was slightly simpler because she had been following all the things that we've been going through. So it wasn't.
You had been briefing her by the pillow.
Yes.
These ones you meet.
Yes.
This one is regular.
So she knew. So she said, you know what? I think maybe it's time, because over the years we had gotten used to these situations. So she said maybe it's about time, and we agreed. The moment she was comfortable with it, then I was happy to make the decision and go through with it. So she was happy with it. She said, no, let's find something else to do. I said, fine, I'll go to the farm. I've been telling you about this. So the kids, I told them, and now I tell them, you understand that I have to build this farm as a source of income for us to be able to sustain our livelihood. So please understand that. They said, okay. So now I tell them, I have to go to the farm. They say, okay. Yeah. But just be sure you're here on the times we expect you to be here, which is good enough.
That's very interesting.
So you have to be, one thing I learned from my mother is you have to be open with your children about the fortunes of the family. There are no two ways about it. Don't ever, you can lie to your wife, you can lie to yourself, but never, ever lie to your children. Never.